Hmm?
Okay, good evening once again. So today we have a couple of things to look over, to look at today. We have the learning worksheet and our mover copy.
Okay.
We have
Can
data
you zoom it
validation. We
in,
have,
please?
okay,
I'm not using laptop. I'm using phone and it's small. Okay, I think I can see now.
okay. So today we are looking at some things. We are looking at renaming the worksheet. Basically, we are trying to move from, in terms, what we did last week is just the rudiments of Excel, rudiment of data analysis, trying to let you know some basic things that are very important in data analysis. But now we are trying to move from um, let's say from amateur to intermediate level, right? We are trying to do some technical stuff. So today, you just have to look at it and pay rapt attention. It is very, very important. Now let's just look at it. We are doing. Let me hmm, load my Excel. So I guess you are already familiar with the interface of Excel. So today we want to start with renaming the worksheet. Now, I told you that Excel worksheet, this is a worksheet, right? We can have up to 255 worksheets i-
Mm.
in in an Excel workbook, right? So
Yes.
this if this sheet one is major, let's say we are an organization of different teams. You have the HR teams, you have the technical teams, you have the IT team. You understand? You have the sales team, all of those things. So we have
Mm.
different sheets that contain different information of everyone. So how do we differentiate within this sheet? Because they are very important. Sometimes as a data analyst, you don't get to visualize, you don't get to do dashboard every now and then. It's just you coordinating the data, and it is very, very important to know how to do so. So it is very simple and easy. You know, you just have to right click on this sheet one. Can you say I'm just right clicking? Then I have a series of options I can choose from. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to rename this from sheet one. Now let's say this contains the raw data. I can just say maybe raw data, right? I can just say something like this raw data. Then sheet two. Now there are two ways to rename actually. Remember when I want to rename the raw data, I right click. Now I can just double click on this one. It will still be the same thing. One, two. Can you see? I double click. Now let's say I'm trying to say this one transform data. So you can see this one transform data. It depends on whatever you want to write there. So it is either you double click or it's either you right click and click the rename option. Both of them works. So another thing you might want to do now, let's say this particular data set is for the HR team. So let me double click. When I double click, I can just write HR information. Can you see? So when I can just let me click out. So we can see we have three different sheets now, but then I cannot visually differentiate between them, even though they have different words, right? So another thing I can use to spice things up is just mega clicking. Then you can see something like tab color, right? So this tab color is just like okay, maybe there is a specific color, yeah, different thing works with. You know, there are some organization that the teams inside it have different colors, different color code or something like that. Now, let's say for
Mm.
the HR team, the color they work with is red, right? Or
Yeah.
can you see now for transform to you can just see cap color. Let's say this one we have deep green. Can you see what data now? Let's say we want to let's give it a shade. No, let's just leave it with black. Now let's look at it. So let's click on something like this. And you see how it looks. This is black, this is green, this is red. It looks like something very exciting. Yeah, it is not
Yes.
like the dull color that we have been working with. Basically, that's how to rename worksheets, and it is very, very important. Now, we are done with that. Although we have a couple of options we can choose from. Now, let's say you are trying to protect it. Remember, because Excel is very volatile and it is when I say volatile, I mean you can a lot of information can be lost, can get lost easily, right? And also
Mm.
there can be a lot of unauthorized access to your data. So you can also protect your sheet. Now let me just say I have let me say I have data. Let's just write data like this, something like this. So I think I'm writing on this one. So can you see the same? I can protect my sheet basically with a password, but I don't want to go there. But it's just like normal when you write a password here and you click on OK, right? So whenever you want to access this particular worksheet, you have to press the password to access it. You understand? Maybe you keep some vital information
Mm.
on your Excel worksheet. You can just protect the worksheet from against unauthorized access by adding a password to it. You understand?
Yes.
Okay, so there are a couple of options you can also look into. Let's look at move of copy now. So
Wait.
let's
Sorry.
start.
The part
Okay.
I don't really understand that part.
Which one?
You said if you want to like protect it from unauthorized source.
Okay,
So
now let's try to do something. Let's try to do something. So we have, let me just write a couple of names there now. So we have sheets. So now let's say sheet two is of age 45 and he earns let's say he earns $10 per per hour. So now let's say Favor is of age 21. He earns $6 per hour. Let's say this guy Danny is of 54 years old and he earns um $30 per hour. So now let's just format this. By now you should already understand what I did here, right? How to format
yes.
this thing. So please so we have it here. Then we have the so this is a table, right? Now let's say this information is only for me. Like I don't want anybody to access this information. So I can just right click on this one, click on protect sheets. Right? What am I trying to do? I want to protect sheets. So it is saying allow all user of this worksheet to uh I don't want them to do anything. So I want to can you see have like no user can do this thing. If I want to protect my worksheet, let's say my password is 123 456. 123 456. So okay. So we enter password to proceed 123 456. So okay. So
Mm.
now let's say someone else just log in, right? And the person um is trying to change this information. Probably let's say I'm the owner, like Shitu. Let's say my name here. I'm assuming my name is um let's just say Ojo, right? My name is Ojo. I'm the owner of this company and I have three employees. One is collecting 10, Favor is collecting 6, and Gani is collecting $30. So Gani sneaked in, right? Oh, sorry, Favor sneaked in and is
Mm.
trying to change his own dollar per hour. Like he wants to change, maybe he wants to change this 6 to like 12 or 16, something just that when Ojo comes in, you will see, okay,
Mm.
Favor is now receiving 16 and pays Favor $16. You get so now
Mm.
what because I've had password to this particular sheet. So now let's say he wants to change this. Now I'm clicking it. Can you see? It is saying that the cell or chart you are trying to change is on a protected sheet. So make
Mm.
a change unprotected sheet. That means no one can access this information, no matter what, except the person knows the password. So it is
So
adding
now,
some level of security
okay.
to your data sets.
So now
Do you
you
understand?
yes, as a person, like you, since you are the one that created the password, so when next you want to
Now
like open it?
I'll just right click, then I'll click on unprotected sheet. 1 2 3 4 5 6. That's my password. Then I'll click on OK. So now I can easily just press it and just change this one to 16.
Okay.
You get.
Yes.
So it's just like it adds some level of security to your data. You get.
Yes.
Okay, so That's number one. That's one of the things we need to look at today. And I guess we've done renaming the worksheet now, even we've done security, which is not part of what you are supposed to do. And let's look at move of copy, which is very, very important too. Now there are sometimes um you want to do, like I told you the other time, that you are not supposed to tamper with raw data, right? You're supposed to like
Mm,
copy it. Like you are supposed to have, let's say this is the raw data, right? This is what you are given to clean. So you have to like duplicate it, have the raw data and the transform data. In case something goes wrong with the transform data, you can easily fall back to your raw data. Do you get that? So now how do we do
mm,
it? Remember, there is no data on transform data, there is no data on info data. So let me just delete this one. So we now have any data there. So I want to copy this data into transform data. So I can just click on this one. Can you see we have something like move or copy? So I can just click on it. What are we trying to do? We are trying to uh, move. We are trying to copy actually. So it is saying that where do you want to copy it? What do you want to copy? Sorry, I want to copy the raw data. So it says create a copy. Can you see?
mm,
So let's click on okay. Oh, sorry, I did a mistake. Um, anyway, there's no mistake anyway. This is the raw data. These are not raw data. But let me delete this one. So they did this sheet. I can just easily click on delete here. So then, okay. Now let's try to do it again. Move or copy. So where am I copying this data to? I want to copy it into transform data, right? Now this particular thing is very important. I have to click on this create a copy here because I'm trying to create a copy of this particular information here.
mhm,
So we just click on what? Create a copy, then click on what? Okay. So um anyway, it's not doing it. So I guess you can just easily what you can do is just write transform data here. But because I have transform data already, so there will not be, you cannot name two sheets the same way. Now let me just say this one, transform date. You get.
mm,
So what I'm trying to say is that look at this raw data. We have our raw data here. Then we also have a new data here.
mm,
Right? Even though we not really like do control A, control C and control V. But then I've easily copied data from raw data into another sheet. Now I can easily tamper with this. Now let's say I I tamper with it, I delete it. I forgot the number that was there. I can easily go back to my raw data and fish out uh the error. Do you get?
mm,
So which is why you're not supposed to tamper with the raw data, right? It says that the templates for correcting the mistake you make along the line. So that's basically a move of copy, right? So now let's try to do the technical thing about today. And before I do that, let me try to uh work with real data so you can understand it better.
okay.
So let's look at this um global unemployment. Have you worked with this data before? I think I've shown you something like this before.
This one, no, no.
Okay. Okay, there was a data I sent to you last time
Let me check.
that you have seen it.
This
Is
one.
it the same thing? I know I've sent it before.
Eh,
Okay. So today we want to do data validation. But before then, let me just try to do it in a simple worksheet like this before we go on. Now let me try to explain this scenario to you. Are you there? Are you with me?
yes.
Okay, so now let's say we have uh an organization or you are trying to build automated Excel for someone.
Mm,
So now we also actually have the basic reason of being a data analyst is that you want to make life easy for people. Now let's say you are working in a superstore. Let's say something for example, pharmacy, right? So you are working for a pharmacy. And you know the drugs are so much that you can't easily just create it. Let's say someone can easily just come in and buy like 12 drugs. They don't want to type it one by one, right? It is so hectic. It will tire you out. Now let's say let me just use, because this is business analysis, so I'll just use business name. The goods name. So let's say we are assuming a role in a stationery shop now. So let's say we are selling clothing, we are selling bench, selling workbench, right? We are selling what else? I was selling, we are selling chair, we are selling pen, we are selling book. Now let me just limit it to these five. Now these are the list of the goods that we are selling. Now let's say a customer comes in, or we are trying to like uh prepare a, I don't know. I'm trying to look for a scenario that makes sense. We are trying to like prepare. Let's say these are the goods that we sell in our company. Now we are trying to stock up. We are trying to restock, right? So instead of me saying I want table cost 10,000. We bought table for 10,000 cost price, workbench. I want to just do something because I want to make life easy for me. I want to just do something like, I will click a drop down. I will see the list of everything. I can just click a drop down, see the list of all the goods that we are selling. Then I'll just click on table. Then I'll just write the price in front of it. So you understand, instead of me
Mm.
typing work and bench now, I can just click on this one. There will be a list here. There will be a drop down here. Once I click on that drop down, I can easily just navigate within them. What am I trying to do? Let's say I want to click on chair. I'll just click on chair. Then it will just bring out chair. Instead of me typing it manually,
Mm.
do you see? Do you get? Like it will make
Yes.
work easier, work more enjoyable. Do you understand? So
Mm.
now what do we call that in data analysis? And that's what we call data validation. Please pay attention because it looks technical, but then it is very, very easy. So the first thing you want to do is the first thing you want to do is let me just write something like this. Yes. So because this is where I want to apply all my drop down to this is five, this highlighted five lines. So can you see I've already selected all the all the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the cells that I want to apply my data validation. So
Mm.
from the word data validation, you should already expect the options should be on that data,
Mm.
right?
Yes.
So so you can see under these data tools, you can see something like data validation. So let's click on the
Mm.
drop down. So you see something like data validation. Please, are you still with me? Or should I go right again?
No, no, I'm with you.
Or nothing crazy yet?
I have to
Okay,
click,
so I'll click.
like
So I'm,
bold
I'm
it
clicking on
better.
data validation.
Okay.
So I'm clicking on data validation. So you can actually see something called lists here. Can you see lists?
Mm.
So you click on list. So it is now asking, can you see? I just click on this one. Then there's a lot of options that we still look at from. So I'm just click on the list. So it is now asking for your source. What's my source? This is actually my source. I can actually write it out here. I can write table. I can write it out here, but that's a lot of stress. Even though I'll still do that. But then because I already have it written out already, so I'll just click on this up arrow, this arrow here. So it is asking for where is my source? So I'll just highlight this one, then click on enter. Can you see? Once I click on enter, it comes back to where we were before. So you click on OK. So I know it is a bit technical, but now understand what you are trying to do. Now looking at this, it looks like nothing has been done. But once I click on this particular cell, can you see there's a drop down here? I can easily click on this drop down. Let's say I want to write workbench now, which is 10,000. Let's say I click on this one, which is what? 10. Can you see it is easier
Mm.
to work with instead of me typing with my hand? Do you get?
Yes.
So this is 600. I paid 600. Can you see there's a drop down here now? Let's say this bill. I paid how much did I pay? Let's say 600 for this one. I want you to see something.
Mm.
Then table. So we have table. Let's say I pay 5,000 for table. to be stock trading. Uh, what's the last one?
Book.
1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're waiting to share attention. So let's say partially 4,000. Now, when I click on this one, I cannot see any drop down here. Can you tell me why I can't see any drop down beside this cell?
Because that's the last one.
Exactly, because we only highlighted this particular five
Mm,
cells, right? Remember, so the rule is not applicable to this particular cell or any cells beyond it.
mm,
Do you get? So now
yes.
let's try to highlight a whole column now. I can easily highlight a whole column like this. Let's say I'm trying to apply all the once I click on this column header, it is applying to a million plus row. Do you know?
Mm,
So I can easily, it depends on what you are trying to do, but because I'm just working with five groups, which that was why I highlighted five groups. So, but now I've not made things easier enough. This particular stuff, I already know they can't be negative because we are trying to restock. And I know I don't hold organization I'm buying from. So I know they will always be in positive number. And I know I cannot spend more than uh, five more than 10,000 on any goods. So let me just
mm.
delete this one. So now let's assume everything now. All of this thing I want to pay okay. Let me use a simpler example. The major reason of using all of this scenario so it's just that you can understand it better. Do you get? So now
Mm.
let's say we have people, the names of people that have paid in full. So we have paid in full and we have
Last
paid
payment.
half payment or paid something like that. So let me just write the names of people. So number one, shooting. I mean, by now you should have seen that I love my name so much. But uh, um, have, um, so so let's say these are the names of people. She too has paid in full. How much is full payment? Let's say the full payment is $500, right? $500. So I expect everyone that will be here to have paid in full. And if you paid enough, obviously your name it will be worth 250. You get. So
Mm.
let's try to do something. I want to highlight this particular thing, this particular five rules, five steps. So go under my data tools, go under my click on data validation, click on this data validation. So what am I trying to do? Am I allowing any value? No, I'm not allowing any value.
Waiting.
I'm allowing whole
Phone
number
number.
because it is 500. Because remember, we are working with paid in full now.
Mm.
So the data is saying what data is it between? No, it's not between. It has to equals to what 500. That means you can only write any something if the value is what 500 here. Okay. So now I want to do the same for this one.
So all of them must
Go to
have
my
paid 500, which is the full payment.
other you understand better if you are done first. So
Okay.
any value you want to do whole number instead of between. I want to say what equals to. It is either it is equals to 250 because that's half payment, right?
Mm.
Okay. So you want to click on OK. So now let's say Shitu has paid in full, obviously Shitu. So not to say 500, right? Shitu has paid in
Yes.
full. When I click on enter, do I have any error? No. But Gani has not paid in full. Gani has only paid 250. But Gani is trying to manipulate his way and he wants to write his name under people that have paid in full. So Gani wants to write how much he paid. He paid what? 250. Once you click on enter, what does it say? It says this value does not match
Mm.
the data validation restriction defined for this cell. So Gani will know that okay, I can't write my name here.
Mm.
Let me try this place. I can write it. If I write 250, do we have any error? Okay, now
No.
this our has paid in full, but she's trying to be humble. So she wants to write 500 here. Once you click on enter, what is it saying? It's saying this value does not match the data validation restriction defined for this cell. So our will know that okay, I'm not supposed to write my stuff here. I'm supposed to write it here, right? So it is like
Yeah.
automation. Do you get? So now, do
Yes.
you know we can easily now let's do something crazy. Let's do something crazy. Let me delete all of this. I want to make this thing automated. So we can go to our data validation. I've done it before, data validation. Click on what list. So all the source, because there is no source name, sorry. So we have Shitu, comma, we have Gani, comma, we have our, uh, we have our, where is that result and what's coming? Some. So can you see, instead of highlighting it, I can easily just write the name here. So I'll click on OK. So now, can you see, names now, let's
Mm.
say Shitu is the one. So now let me delete this one also. Let me delete this one. I never know the person that will be the first person to click. So
Yes.
Shitu, I already know Shitu has paid in full, but Gani has not paid in full. Now let's say Gani is the first person to pick it. So Gani, if Gani is trying to write it should be what? It will show an error. Okay, yes, 500. There won't be any error message. But if he's trying to pay 250, there will be an error message because Gani has not paid in full, right? So Gani will already know that, okay, I'm actually supposed to write 250 here, right? And
Mm.
not 500 here. So now, who is the next person? There's a list here. Awa. Awa has paid in full. She writes here, no problem. Shitsu. Shitsu has paid in full. But he is writing here. Will there be problem? Yes, there will be
Mm.
problem. But now, this does not make technical enough. Right? Can you see we are building something?
Yes.
It is automated.
Mm.
Can you see? But then this thing is saying this value does not match the data validation. I don't like this error message. I want something technical. I want us to be like a data analyst. So that's why I will come over. Let me just highlight this and that 5 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll go to data validation. Data validation. Okay, it's saying it contains more than one type of validation. So I can't do it. I think I have to click it in 1, 2, 3, 4. So put my data validation, put my data validation. So I want to click on, can you see we have input message also. So input message will be, uh, let's just say something like, um, let me say this period, something like this. This to fill this. Let's say something like this. So error alert now. So basically, I went from setting, which was the one we were working with the other time. I clicked on input message. Then error alert. Uh, um, instead of saying the Microsoft Excel, there's a mistake in data validation, blah blah blah. So you want to say
Mm.
title, just say something like oops, right? Cancel with huge the one column, right? So now what is the effect of this? So now let's say this guy, Ganya has not paid anything. So he tries to write 250 here. So once you click on enter, what is this thing? You see, oops, it filled the wrong column.
Mm.
It is not giving us Microsoft Excel. Is the data validation that what is not valid. Do you get? So it is
Mm.
giving us something technical that okay. So Gani, you already know that oh, I'm not supposed to fill this column, but I'm supposed to fill this column. Do you get?
Mm. Yes. Yes.
You do get out. Now let's say now, let's do the same thing for this particular. Let's do this one. Go to my data source, click on my data validation. So click on error alert. So we want to do something like this. So, sure. I mean, you can write anything, but so
Mm.
please just fill the um.
Okay. I think
So
this thing is all this. For example, if you are navigating a
automate
website, you now clicked on the
exactly,
wrong stuff to bring it out, or probably
exactly,
network connection is bad.
exactly. That's basically what they call data validation. No, I actually like how you are driving it very easily. Because basically what is happening that time, they just say, oops, you are logged out and try reconnecting. You have a network
Mm,
so basically it is called data validation. I said
okay.
data validation, validation. Do you get?
Mm,
So basically now, so now let's say the next person, who's the next person? Join. Son. Son has paid in full, but he's trying to write 250 here, even though he has paid in full. They can easily say you filled the wrong column. So you'll be like, oh, I've not paid it. I'm not filling the wrong column. I'm just not writing the right amount. So you can just say 500. Amazing. So now,
mm,
join, join, join has not paid in full. So join wants to write 500 here. So you still bring the, like, Join will already know that, okay, I'm not supposed to fill here, but I'm actually supposed to fill here. Do you get?
yes.
So basically, that's what we call um, automated charts. Like you can, it depends on how wide your imagination is. You can build anything because basically you
Mm,
don't really need to write anything. So I can do something like this. Means I can add my data validation to all the columns underneath. So if someone just log in, he won't even know that there's data validation here, except he clicks on the uh
so,
on the cell. Also,
okay.
have you seen something like tracker? When they say something like financial tracker, all of those things. Majority of them they use data validation. Don't worry, when we start projects, we do something like financial tracker because this is business analysis. And
Mm,
then so we do business and we do financial tracker. So you actually see how money is moving in real time. Do you understand?
yes.
Okay, so basically that was all about data validation. Do you have any question from
Mm, not really. So now all these platforms are the let me say websites. They've already like processed it that way that if you do some particular things, it will bring out that stuff. Abi?
Yeah, but then it depends. It depends. You can't really just say all these websites, right? It depends because they are not using Excel to build the websites. The
Oh,
thing
that's
is
true.
data validation. They're not using Excel to build it.
Mm.
They are using most of
They've
them. They use
programmed
Python
that
or they
one.
use yes, they use HTML, JavaScript, C++.
That's true. That one is
They
like
use all
programming.
of those things. Yeah, that's programmed. So it is called, they can just add error message, whatever.
Mm,
But then also, but similar to what they are doing is what we are also doing here. But don't
okay.
worry, when we start our projects, you actually see how we can use this in real time tickets.
Mm, yes.
Okay. So it is a bit technical, so you have to like rewatch it. But then let your imagination be wild because basically you are trying to deal with money and finance and business, everything is
Mm,
they are very technical. You have to be meticulous about every money move. So every money move. So let's move on to the next one we are supposed to do for today. So you're already done with reading worksheets, move and copy, data validation. The next one is what text to pull. So now what is the meaning of text
that's too cool.
Yeah. So now I want to show you something. So let's say my phone name is Fiction Abdul. So we have done we have Faith, we have we have Math, okay, um, we have so obviously this is from right. So once you separate it into first names, First names, unseparated into first names, then last names. Right, so I can just expand this.
Mm.
I don't know what's happening. I'm going to expand the one to another. Hold on, please. Mm.
Mm.
So I'm trying to expand the rules. Okay.
Mhm.
So basically, yeah, I can do it again. So basically, can you see we have two names? So we are trying to separate them into first name and last name. Do you get?
Mm.
So how can we separate this thing? Obviously, I already know that the first name. Let's say these are the first name. Shitu is the first name. The last name is what? Abdul, right?
Yes.
Dami is the first name. The last name is Oluwa. Faith is the first name. The last name is Clem. Then you have Mark Breaker. His last name is Collins. So we are trying to separate it. Now let's say we have a million rows. We are not expected to write. We're not expected to write it manually. That's okay. Shitu. We want to write Shitu. Then we separate this one to Abdul. Now let's say we have 1 million rows. That would be so hectic and it would be unrealistic to complete that. So how do we
Mm.
complete this particular stuff like this? So we use something called text to column. So if you actually look at your data tab, under the same data tools, you see something like text to column. Can you see it?
Mm.
So if you
Yeah.
actually look at it, well, I just over my mouse over it. I don't know if you can read it, but I can. It says split a single room of text into multiple columns. That means it can split a single column into multiple columns. Right. So I want to split this particular column. But I like all the information here. Right. So I'll click on my text to column. So now we have two options. We have delimited or we have fixed weights. So what's the meaning of delimiter? Delimiter is like there is something separating the first word from the second word. So what's separating the first name from the last name? Tell me, I'm asking you.
There's nothing in between there.
There's space.
Okay,
Or are they
space. No.
joined together? Yeah.
No.
So we just say because there's something separating them, they're not joined together. They will pick delimited. But now let's say you are trying to separate something like January, maybe like all the months, and you are trying to like separate the first three letter out of it. You remember that January is written in full, but you are trying to like
Mm.
separate the first three letter. So that's
Mm.
fixed root. Do you get? But in this case, it is delimited because there is a delimiter. Delimiter is basically what
Mm.
space. So you want to click on what next. So it is asking me what's the delimiter? Is it tab, is it semicolon, comma, space, or what?
Space.
Or the icon space. So we click on this space, then we uncheck this tab. So can you see? I want you to see something. When we click on now I've unchecked everything here. But once I click on space, notice something that happens here. Once I click on space, what happens?
Separated. Yeah.
It has already given you a preview of what will happen. That is, it will be
Mm.
separating sheet 2 into a column, and it will be
Mm.
separating all this into a column, right?
Yes.
So you now click on next. So now it is now asking you that, okay, what is the destination? Now this is very important. So the destination, you just click on this up arrow. So where is the destination? I want it to be here, to be here. Because if you actually click on this one, it will overwrite this one. That is the first name will be here, the last name will be here, which we don't want. We don't want to lose our full names. So that's why I'm clicking the first row here. So you can just click on this down arrow again, and click on finish. Can you see everything has been separated easily?
Mm.
Do you get that? Or should I go right again?
Yes.
I should go right again.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's just do something like this. Um, So I want to test the intelligence of my computer. So because I'm already writing January and February. So let me just double click. Nothing is happening. Just starting March, April, May. Okay. So sorry. I'll be done soon.
Mhm.
September. October, November. So now these are what months,
Mhm.
right? So let's say first three character. So then just say three character. So now we are trying to separate this one into a jam. This will be fed.
Okay.
Like we are trying to separate the first
Mm.
three words out of it. So the first thing is I highlight all of this, right? So I'll go under my data tab, under my data tools, I'll see something like text to column. So now I want you to tell me, what do you think I will choose? Will I be choosing delimited or fixed width?
Fixed to it
Why do you think I will be choosing fixed width?
because you want to like separate them into
And they are written together.
yes.
Yeah, so you will click on next. You are just basically well. So what do we click on? You click on fixed width. So that's a fixed width. So and click on next. So you can see something like an arrow. If you want to
Mm.
set your cursor, your mouse, you want to set it to like that around table, then you double click. Can you see you
Mm.
just click. I think can you see? I
Yes,
think
yes.
I'll separate it into three areas. So
Mm.
what's the next thing? I want to click on what next.
Next.
So it is now asking for destination. So now there's an I can make a mistake. I can make a mistake. If I should click on M20, what's the meaning of M20? You should
The
already know by this thing. M
the
means look at
cell
this column M and look at this 20. So that means if you are trying to separate this one, this JAM, it will be written on this particular column. And I don't actually want to lose. I don't want to lose the. I don't want to lose the month. I can easily overwrite it, right? So let me try to do what I'm trying to do. If I click on finish, can you see it has been overwritten? What was here before? January in full table. So let's do Control Z. So instead of that, so I'll just go back to the text column, go to fixed rate, click on next, click on set my arrow to 3, click on next. So instead of M20 now, so I'll click on this one. I'll put it on M21. That is JAN will now be here. All the three characters, first three character will be here, and the last, the remaining character will be here. So I can just click on this down arrow, then click on what's finish. Now, do you understand it?
mhm. Yes.
Instead of overwriting it, I can easily just change the
It's now in two
destination
places, yes.
to other columns. So because this one does not make sense now, I can just highlight this one and delete it.
Mm.
You get.
Yes.
So I want us to practicalize it on this one. There was a data we were working on that there was a data we claimed that the data set that have date and um I have data movement, something like that. I can't remember. It was
Used
last
my
week. What say?
we used my laptop that day.
Oh, we used your laptop. Okay, I was trying to look for something else. Let me try to see if I can see something like this. Sorry, let me check my computer here and see the data sets that I can just Anyway, I will try to send an assignment. I think I will find a file behind this and
Okay.
I'll send it as an assignment to you. But basically, what I will be asking you to do is that you will separate a column. But then I want to try to do something like that. So, uh, it's not working. Now let's just say we have something like um let me try to join this thing together. So to join together, let's say we are now trying to join different stuff together. So there's a function called concat. So concatenate, you can use concat, you can use concatenate. So can you see the same join several text string together? So click on your tab key. We still do functions and formula, but then to write any functions and formula, I told you the other time that you will start with what with an equals to, then
Close to.
write the number of you write the function. Obviously, from the word concatenate, it means what's joining, right? So I'm trying to join this gender together. So I'm clicking on see. I right click all everything. So I want to add comma because basically after text one, it's asking for what? It's asking for a comma. So it's asking for text two now. So what's text two? I want to join them with HP. So because I'm done, so I want to close my brackets. Click on enter. So click on edges. So total you can you see now?
Mm,
So
Quiet.
you can see we
Very.
have can you see everything has been joined together in uh on a column. But now I want to show you something. Can you see total youth is getting together? But then I want
Yes.
to add space in between them. So to actually correct this, I'll just do something like this. In between this particular GG and HH. So this one GG means column G, HH means column H. Do you get it? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So now after that comma, so you just add something like this. Space. So what is it? I have column G. Now this space, I had a quotation mark. Between the quotation mark, I had a space there. Then I had, and then I wrote column H. So if I should click
Mm,
on OK, I should click on OK. And you see total sheets is now separated. Now let's dive to do. Now I can just easily click on that small box beneath the at the right hand at the bottom right corner of this cell. Can you see? Double click on it. Can you see everything has now changed? Now having a space in between them. Do you understand? Or should I go over it again? You're really confused. You sound confused.
I don't understand this last one.
You understand this last one? Okay. Let me just start to do it again. Equals to concatenate. You understand that one?
Mm,
So now what are we trying to concatenate? I want to concatenate this gender, comma. So I want to separate gender, space, age group, maybe.
Yes.
But then I can't just write space only. So I have to write it in a quotation mark. So quotation mark, space, quotation mark. So basically, again, this one we know that okay, I'm actually adding column G with a space, then comma. What's the next one? I want to add it with what? Age group, right? Then
Mm,
close my brackets. Do you get?
okay.
So basically,
Yes.
that's what I wrote there. Then click on enter. So
Mm,
click yes there. So it is giving total use. So I can easily just do double click here. And so let me just double click. How is it not working? Anyway, it's supposed
double
to work. I don't know why
click.
it's not working. Okay.
Continue.
So but you understand now.
Yes, yes. So you now later
So
separate the column into two.
so yeah, let's try to separate it. Basically, that's what I'm trying to, because I will give you an assignment today, some to be submitted before tomorrow. Take it.
Yeah.
Now let's try to separate it. So to separate it, what would be the first thing? You want to highlight everything. So highlight this one because I'm not separating the first column header. So my highlight will start from the second row, right?
Mm.
So you will do control. If I do control down arrow, can you see? I'm only having, I'm not highlighting it, right? And you can see this is 15,751. You not expect
Mm.
me to start writing it with my hands. So let's do control up arrow again. This control up arrow. This is the column header, right? This is the first column. So you do control shift down arrow. Can you see it highlight everything? You hold control shift down arrow at the same time. It will highlight everything from the second row to the last row. Do you get that? Hello? Are you still with me? I can't hear you anymore. Yes, you can use the chat box if the mic is not working. I can't hear you.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can hear you now. I said, do you understand what I did? Though? Okay, can you just leave and join again? And your mic is working. Hello, can you hear me now? Hello.
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So don't worry, I will hand it up for it. I think you already found them.
No, no, I do not hear you. Like, I think you were muted before.
Okay. But can you hear me now? Do you understand how I highlighted all the whole stuff?
You pick the second column. You now drag
Yeah.
it down.
No, I not drag it all. I pressed Control Shift down arrow together.
Okay.
Control Shift down arrow together.
Okay.
So that's why you need to watch the recording. Go back to
Mm.
data, click on text to column. So what are we trying to do? Is it fixed tweets?
Yes.
You are clicking fixed tweets. You have a space between them. Oh. No, we are clicking delimited, please.
Oh, that's true.
There's a space between them. So click on next. What is it? Space. You can
This.
already see it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you have next. So let's click on finish. Oh, I know why. Oh gosh. I don't want to stop this one again. Okay, but anyway, it should have worked the way we did it now. It would have worked. So let me just explain what happened. So it actually separated into different columns. Uh our formula, right? It could
Okay.
have worked, but then I don't want to do this. We are supposed to do paste value, but you are not there yet. So maybe in the next class when we are doing that, we look at it. So basically we have conditional formatting and copy and paste today. But if we dive into it today, we have we lose a lot of time. So I actually work on, or I suggest we do it tomorrow, copy it what we want to do tomorrow. what is left to know is actually functional and formula. Okay, so it is why we have done a little bit about functions and formula. It will be easy adding these to it and then doing now functions and formula. You get.
Yes. They are not
So
giving
actually,
you assignment again.
I will send it to your DM. It is before 12, so I'll send it to your DM. So you actually be done with it before 12 DM
Mm.
to me. I actually want you to take care of yourself because you're not really sounding very.
No, it's not that bad. Can continue.
No, like your voice is actually shaking. How can you continue?
Continue. Just continue.
Okay. So now we have something called copy and paste. So you already know what copy and paste is. So basically, it's just we copying Ctrl C. Let's do something like Ctrl C. Then we do Ctrl V, Ctrl V,
Mm.
Ctrl V for paste. How do you not copy? Sorry, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. And so everything has copied. Basically, that's all we know as copying. But then it can be different. A lot of things can go on. So let me try to show you something. Um, let's start with punching some numbers. So we have 500 here. We have 500 here. We have to, I'm just doing some more.
Mm.
So let's say we have equals to, now let's say we have two, uh, and then drag this two. So we now do something like this. You want to do this one
Mm.
times this one, right? 500 times 2 equals to 1000. So we drag this one down. I mean, you understand why we are dragging it down so
Yes,
that
yes.
the
It will
formula is
apply
applying to
to it.
all these cells, right? You understand that one?
Mm.
Okay, please. So now let's say I want to copy. How do I copy? I want to copy this particular answer. How do I copy? I'll
Control.
just I'll highlight on all of this, right? Then
Mm.
do Control C. So now let's click on this cell. Let's paste it here. Control what? V. So
V.
why is it giving me 0? Do you get?
Mm.
There's something wrong. So why is it giving me 0? That's why. That's what. There's something we call an paste function. So if you actually look at this, you can see we have paste option. Sorry, I said paste function. It was paste option. Paste option. I want to say. So
Mm.
um, we will click on this drop down. We have quite a number of options here, right? So we have paste all of these options. So what exactly is happening? Now let's look at where the error is coming from. So this particular data is E3, right? Multiplied by what?
Two.
This two is what? F3. So now looking at this one, we're saying that E3 times F3. Looking at this one, it's saying E4 times F4. But if you look at this N, what is it saying? K3 times L3. That is, he's thinking that, okay, there are some values here. Because remember, there are
You
two
only picked
columns.
one.
The,
Yes.
there are the first two columns before this calculation, they were what do you call it? They were numbers. But this
Mm.
one is now picking. Excel is now thinking, okay, maybe you are trying to apply the same function. That's why you do Control C, Control V. It's now
Mm.
picking on L3 and K3. And remember,
Mm.
there's nothing in K3, there's nothing in L3, and that's why we're having 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. You understand?
Yes.
Now, how can we solve this problem? So now the first thing you want to do is you want to click on this paste option. So we have something we call paste different different paste option actually. But then there's something we call paste value. If you look at this, I think this is the page one. You can just over your mouse over it and you can see values here. So you can just click on paste value. Can you see? Now this
Mm.
paste value means that you're actually pasting the values of the result. Not like you are trying to make a calculation. So if I click on this one now, guys, I'm only seeing 1000. I'm not
Mm.
seeing a calculation like maybe E3 times L3. right? I'm only pasting the values that I have here. So now let's
Mm.
say I'm trying to do something like this. Um, Maybe let's do 2 times 1,000 again. I'll just start that equals to do this one times this one, enter, right? So I
Mm.
can drag this down. So if I do Control C, so once I click on this cell, I should do Control Alt V. Please try to know all these shortcuts. It makes your life easier. And you can also do
Oh,
Control V also. So once you
okay.
do Control V, you can just click on this paste option, click on values. It will be the same thing. But then I'm trying to teach you another step. You can press Control Alt V at the same time. Can you see it? So it is
Mm.
called paste special. So what are we trying to do? You want to paste values on it. So you just click on what's okay, and you can see it.
Mm.
Do you get?
Yes.
Should I go right again? Are you understand it?
No, I understand.
So it is called Control Alt V. So there are some
Mm.
cases. Maybe you have something like let me just copy this one. Let me just copy this. Just copy this. So we can see we have our month, so we have January, February, March. But then I actually don't want this in this particular format in columns. That is, I
Mm.
want it to be spread out. I want January to be February, March, April, May, June. No, I want this to be something like that. You can also do Control Alt V. Sorry, you start with Control C. Then maybe you can pick a column Control Alt V. What are we trying to do? We are trying to just transpose. We are trying to transpose. Transpose is basically if you did something like matrix
Mm.
in school, so you actually know that transpose is like writing in
Opposite.
horizontal,
Mm.
yes, opposite line. So let's click on OK. Can you see? Everything has been written in opposite
Mm.
line. Can you see? It looks so easy. That is, instead of saying January, you can easily just spread it out. Two it. So
Mm.
that's how to paste and that's how to paste and copy.
So now, this one I just played out. Can you want to like create maybe an header for a new this thing? Can you use this format? So this one
Yes, now,
by the side would
like
what if okay
sorry, like
let's
this. You want to create a header, but
yeah
this will be the names of the header.
yeah
Eh?
yes
If you do the same, you will just try something like that. And
mm,
let's say the names of the other names. You have the you have the full name, right? You have the first name, you have the last name, the page, you have the salary. So let's just give it that one. So I can just highlight all of this. Click
mm,
on Control C. Click on this one. Click on Control Alt V. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to transpose this.
okay
Works. Awesome. I can just separate it out so you can see. Something in okay. Awesome.
mm, okay
So do you have any question with paste and copy? So don't worry, when we start our project, you will see the use cases of all of this. But it's very, very important that you know them. So when we are starting the project, you will see it will be easy to flow with because you already understand the concepts already.
I get
Yeah,
but then
but please try to
what
rewatch
if
it so that you're
I
asking something.
watch them
You
this
wanted to ask something.
yes normally like the normal data we always have now like this header now. Sometimes normally self it should be different from this other side. Like we might have
Yes.
full name, first name, age, and so like why this part we can have maybe serial number or something. Just like this our normal. table that we have here. So is it possible you use this method for it?
No, you can't. No, you just use this method for what is suitable for.
Same
You don't
thing.
use it for everything. Yeah,
Okay.
you don't use it for everything. Just use it when it is the same. You get.
Mm, yes, I get.
So yeah. So we actually also do conditional formatting. But I don't have a data to prepare for that. But I can just run you through. So basically, from the word conditional formatting, you can see conditional formatting
Mm,
under our enter. So it is actually a lot, and I don't want to. Let me prepare the data set for it before tomorrow, so we can actually work with it tomorrow. So basically, conditional formatting is just um yeah, maybe we should do an introduction for it before tomorrow, so it will be going tomorrow. So basically, you can see we have unemployment rates here, and so
mm,
we have unemployment rate. But now to look at the unemployment rate that's worse, right? So I want to click on this here, click on my conditional formatting under the home tab. So you can see something like styles. You can see my conditional formatting there. So click on the conditional formatting. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to look at the data bars. So basically, you can use any of these. You can use color scales, you can use icon, you can use highlights. So let's start with the icon. That's the easiest one. So
mm,
I want to start with something like this. You can see we have different type of icon. But now it depends on what you want to use. But let's start with this one. So can you see? So we have and so we have
mm,
so you can easily see that all these 200 they are what they are showing down arrow that is it is thinking this guy Excel is thinking I want to look at the job test. I think it's not working number one. Let me just use data bars. Let's just use data bars. Okay, it is working. We're just small. Sorry, let me prepare and a adequate data set to explain this tomorrow. It will be
okay.
easier for us to explain. But then basically it's just like us visually uh, looking at the data, then you can easily say, okay, this is where the problem are, this is not. Don't worry tomorrow. It's very simple. Trust me.
Okay.
So we prepare adequate data to look to it.
Okay.
No problem. So have a good day. And yeah, just remember to send the person's contact to me or to me. Whichever one works.
I want to give him the feedback, then I'll drop your contact for him.
Okay, no problem.
Then I'll ask him if I should send his own to you.
No problem.
Mm.
Okay, have a good day.
All right. Thank you.
Mm.
Bye.
What's up,